Hey everyone, welcome to my rooftop. I love coming up here and just peering over the city and just getting a little perspective on things from a little higher up. We're in a very opportune time. The vaccine is coming out, and there's a special opportunity that we all have to participate in something very unique. In this week's parsha, God comes to Moses and to Aaron, and he tells them to command the Jewish people and to command Pharaoh to release the Jews from Egypt. They were slaves, and God said, "Let my people go." But the verse is strange because God tells Moses and Aaron to command not only Pharaoh to release the Jewish people, but to command the Jews themselves. Why would the Jewish people themselves need to be released? They were the victims, they were the slaves. And the Yerushalmi, part of our Talmudic literature, teaches that what Moshe was supposed to teach the Jewish people at this point was the Parshat Shmot, that section in the Torah that would later be revealed, that speaks about what a Jew does when they have what's called an indentured servant. Somebody fell into hard times and had to pay off a loan. They could sell themselves as an indentured servant. And this is part of halakha, part of Jewish tradition, but the Jew has to release that person after a certain amount of years, after 6 years. And now they were being told about this. It's kind of strange, like you're a slave in Egypt and God is telling you, one day you're going to get the Torah, and in the Torah you're going to be able to do this indentured servant thing to help people out, and they'll help you, but you can't hold on to them for too long. You're going to have to release them after a few years. What do they need to hear that now? And I heard from a colleague, a friend, who suggested that because when the Jewish people were in the throes of Egyptian slavery, and they themselves were feeling the back-breaking labor of what it means to be a slave, now they'll have the sensitivity. One day when they get in a position of power, not that they would have a quote-unquote slave like they were slaves in Egypt. Indentured servitude was a very, very different thing. But the idea that they would have to release that person after a certain amount of time, they needed to get that message now when they're in the throes, when they're in that zone of slavery themselves. We, my friends, are in the zone of COVID. And we are still experiencing isolation and quarantine. Now is the time when we're feeling that angst, when we're feeling that isolation, to help others who are in a worse situation. The Talmud says that the reward for fasting, when a Jew fasts on a fast day, the reward for fasting is tzedakah, giving charity. What does one thing have to do with the other? Because when you're fasting, you're feeling that lack. And so you want to express what that's feeling like by helping other people fill in their lacks, by giving charity to the poor, helping others that are also experiencing that lack. So right now, while we're going through what we're going through, and the world is still on hold, this is the time to step up and to say, look what I'm feeling, there must be others feeling something worse. There are so many older people getting the vaccine now. What an opportunity there is to call. Give me a call, MGE. We're helping elderly individuals at the Jewish Center and some other synagogues navigate the technology to set up their appointment for a vaccine. And I went this week with my father to get the vaccine, and we were waiting online for 4 hours. 4 hours. Maybe we can volunteer to go with someone with a mask, be careful, to help someone who's elderly, bring a chair for them. It's not so simple for people just to get the shot. So if you would like to help and use what we're feeling now to do something great with it, when we're in that zone of COVID, to help others who could use more help, let me know. Step it up. Or whatever it is you could do. Call your grandparents, call your parents, call a relative. How are you getting the vaccine? Can I drive you there? Can I help just navigate the computer? If you don't want to go in, I totally understand that. But then just how, can I help set up the appointment? Not so simple with the technology these days. Could be doing a great thing for a lot of people at this auspicious time. Shabbat Shalom.